Welcome back to the Wanna Be Mindful podcast. We're back, baby. I'm Sean, and I'm joined here with Dr. Jared, my great co-host.
Hello, folks. Welcome to another ramblin', bamblin', buzzlin' episode of the Wanna Be Mindful podcast. Very excited to be with y'all today. So
It's great to be here.
it's a great place to be. Great world we're living in. Technology. Ooh, I think I got a good first.
That's what I like. That's what I like to
a little
hear.
zinger for the crowd.
Okay, all right.
So it's on the topic somewhat of: are we living in a simulation? Now, I feel like you need to really kind of think about this topic to kind of grasp it in your mind.
Okay.
But I'm going to explain it the best way I can.
Okay.
So, essentially, I saw a video of Elon Musk the other day. Everybody knows Elon Musk, his great, wonderful mind.
Our Lord and Savior.
Lord and Savior, Elon Musk. So, he was talking about kind of like, the simulation topic. And so if you think about it, like early in the 2000s, like late 90s is when like we really started having video games and such. Like I guess early 90s,
Yeah.
90s, whatever. And so how far graphics has already gone in about 30 years or so, 30 years.
Oh yeah.
And to think on the evolutionary scale, that is not much time at all. To see where it was there then to where it is now, it's insane. So to go into the future, like 5,000 years from now, which still isn't that much time, like where is it going to be at if we've progressed so much of this level? And so if it's already kind of hard to distinct it, like if you're watching a video of GTA, there's that video of the GTA, somebody like running some random bystander over, getting completely messed up.
Right.
Like legs over the shoulder, legs in somebody else's poop hole, like whatever the case may be. And so, if it's already to that level where it can be kind of indistinguishable, like just from seeing it at a glance, imagine it in like 5,000 years. And so,
brother,
if technology, and it's not even just graphics, but it's like dwelling into a mind,
brother,
or going into a simulation to then where you can play an actual life where you think you're a human and you think all of it's real, when really you're the only real person in it. Like you could just be another thing in my simulation,
like an NPC.
Yeah, exactly.
Brother, I'm glad you brought this up because the graphics that are going to be coming out soon are, first of all, we're going to get to a point where it is non-distinguishable from real life and the video game graphics, right? We're going to get to that point where it's so realistic that you can't tell the difference. And then it's going to get to a point where it looks more real than real life, which in turn is going to make it look fake again and like not as real, because we're going to get to that point where it's not going to be, you can't tell if it's real life or if it's the game GTA.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to go past that if we keep going on this exponential growth
that we have been.
It's doubling. It's like 2 times ever since we, technology spurt up.
Yeah.
It just keeps doubling. It has that double effect. 2, 4, 6. I mean, 2, 4, 8, 16, 30. It does that, but technology wise. So let me blow your mind real quick. I've never actually had to talk about this.
Blow it. Let's go.
Maybe I've talked to you about this like long ago, but I'm going to bring it back. All right.
Okay.
So we're talking about AI here.
AI technology.
Artificial intelligence, right? There's 3 types of AI in this world. Well, soon to be. We got NAI, GAI, and SAI. Now let me break it down for you, Barney style. NAI.
Stop saying that.
I will. NAI is, thank you, is narrow artificial intelligence. That is basic AI. That's the GPS in your phone. That's, an AI set to do one task and one task only. It can't handle multiple things. That is AI that is in our everyday life right now. Then you have GAI, general artificial intelligence. GAI is where there's an AI that knows pretty much everything a human can know in this world. I'm talking encyclopedias, dictionaries, everything known to man that was made by man this GAI, this general artificial intelligence, knows it.
Hmm.
So everything you can think about, work and like jobs, human characteristics, body parts, everything, GAI will know it. You can ask anything, it will answer it. We don't have that yet, but it is expected to come in like 1 to 2 years. That's really soon.
Don't you think they would kind of sensitize it though, just like they do with Snapchat AI and all that stuff? Like it has to be, you can't ask it a racist joke, or you
Right.
can't ask it, you know.
And that comes to the questions about the creators and developers. Basically, whoever develops and, puts their rules and their constraints on the AI. That's, if a liberal is making an AI, it's going to be more liberal. If a conservative is making an AI, it's going to be more conservative. It's whatever the creator, whoever the creator is. That's kind of like where the power comes from, and that's kind of scary. But I'm sure there's regulations already set. There's conventions and boards made to regulate the AI.
That would make sense. Yeah.
So that's why you can't like be rude to a Snapchat AI because of the developers obviously made it so, why spread hate? Why do that? Like it's there to be helpful, nice, kind, productive, all that stuff. But Snapchat AI is on the path of becoming a GAI because you can ask it a lot of things and it brings up some good answers. So
Did you turn down your mic volume, by the way?
yes, I
Just wanna
did.
make sure.
I already did.
Okay.
So that's GAI. And we don't have like, Snapchat is on the way to becoming GAI, but it's, it's almost there. It's not quite there yet. It's expected from 1 to 5 years from now.
Okay.
And then you have SAI. Now this is the scary part. SAI stands for super artificial intelligence. Super artificial intelligence. To describe this in words, I'm going to use a little, I guess, analogy here. So we have words that describe a smart person, right? Let's think of a person that has a 200 IQ and above, like Einstein, Elon Musk. We call these people geniuses or prodigies.
Dr. Sean.
Thank you. That means a lot. Dr. Sean, Dr. Jared. But we have words like genius, prodigy, super smart person, like just words.
Succubus, yeah.
Right. We have words to describe such a human being with a high IQ. We don't have words to describe something that has a 10,000 IQ. And that's what super AI would have. Super AI, some people believe once it's created.
And this is what we're on the path towards.
Yeah.
This is like
this is 10 to 20 years from now.
That's a holy grail just shining right there.
Exactly.
You got to be Lara Croft. That's what the fellas are trying to create, the super AI.
Exactly. So super AI, some people believe like once it becomes created, it'll just either like maybe not even mess with us and just shoot up into the stars and try to find the beginning of the universe or something crazy. Like that's how mind blowing it is. Or it might just boom, exterminate us. Like we don't know. But super AI will have a 10,000 IQ. We can't fathom that. So to talk about the exponential growth that's happening with technology, and people aren't really realizing it. Of course, normal citizens like us have technology that was already discovered 10 years ago, and the government is 10 years, 20 years ahead of us. So whatever they haven't even released to us yet. That's something that people have to understand, take in. But so I use this analogy. You take a man that was born 10,000 BC, caveman, right? You bring him to, let's say, regular BC, where Jesus lived and the Romans and all that stuff. And he sees a couple spears. He sees some like Roman armor. He's in a new setting. Like people, there's more civilization, more structure now. But he's not going to be too shocked, right? Okay. So now, let's say you take somebody from 100 AD. So the Romans are around. So if you take him and you teleport him to the 1700s, right? So I need you to. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm listening.
Okay. So
I just want to make sure the sound wasn't picking up what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's fine.
Yes.
Did you hear what I said last?
No.
Okay.
Repeat it.
So you take a person from, let's say, 100, 200 AD, okay, and you bring them like to the 1700s. So basically 1,500 years into the future.
Quite a long time.
That's a lot. That's
but also at the same time not.
That's a big time gap, right?
Yeah.
You bring someone 1500 years into the future, from 100 AD to 17, 1600, regular years, and you show them, they're going to be like, okay, a lot has changed. We got the wheel rolling around. There's a wheel. There's a couple more wooden stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe a musket or two. Like, he sees things like have changed a lot in the future, but he's not going to be, you know, really mind blown at anything crazy. But if you took somebody from the 1700s and you bring them just a measly 200, 300 years into the future to now, the 2023, 2024,
Mhm.
scientists say they would literally die of shock. They would freeze, their brain would have a stroke, and they would die of shock because they would see all the
Mm.
technology, the cars, everything. So that's the difference. 1500
Like a
years,
cellular device would blow people's mind,
exactly.
dude.
So you got 1500 years that doesn't really affect a person, and then you cut that down to 200, 300 years, and the person dies of shock because of how much has changed. And we're still
Gets
just
sent in a coma,
exactly
just
we're
arms crossed, just
and we're still going on that path every day. So
yeah,
people say,
exponential growth.
like, I'm not going to be alive when we're on Mars or when we're exploring like Jupiter or something. Like,
Mhm.
dude, 20 years from now, they might have like cures for every disease.
Mhm.
You might
300 years from now.
Everybody's house might have a android that helps them do yard work or
Mhm.
something crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So this even takes the topic even a little bit further. So if we're at the point we are now, and we could be at the point where it's 200, 300 years, whatever the case may be, and technology just exponentially grows, do you think in the future that when we're able to get there, when we have that AI technology that knows everything, and we could literally like give people knowledge when they're a young kid, like we some sort of way we can download knowledge into a person's brain, to kind of like say it simply. And so eventually there gets to a point where a human can just know everything very quickly, like masters the mind, masters everything incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think then at that point, what is there to really live for if you know everything, and you can't really go through the highs and lows of life? Like you mastered your emotions, so if you like feel angry, like you can't even really feel angry at anything, or you can't even really feel too happy about anything because you already know how to get over it. You understand it too well to be even feeling those emotions. So what's the point of living at that point?
I think I have an answer for you.
Get into the simulation and live it as if you are doing it.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Wow. That's
And then you're in the golden age of when technology really started.
yeah. And
So,
okay. Whew. Okay. I hear you. So to answer what I was first thinking before you dropped that bomb, because
Mhm.
that's also a solution
Yeah.
to that problem.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I was thinking is that if we do get to that point where you're just sending information into a kid and he knows everything, emotions, everything, like, the
Like
giver,
you, yeah, yeah,
basically,
yeah.
you give
Basically, the
memories,
giver to
everything,
understand
right?
everything.
Then there's going to be some more reasons slash protocols or, um, I guess,
It's going to be governed
un,
somehow.
undiscovered reasons that we don't know right now, but there will be not reasons, purposes. There will be a purpose set in place that maybe we don't even know yet, whether it's creating a new planet with life, human becoming God, something crazy. Like,
Hmm.
at that point, it goes beyond human, like, natural instincts and human desires at that point, because what it is to be human. Now you're ascended into something higher that we can't even comprehend right now. You go create life on a new planet, or that's what I think. Or, like you said, you go back into the simulation and you live like you didn't know anything. You're born a baby and you just go through life. You make mistakes. You go in debt. You
Hmm.
break up with your girlfriend. You didn't mean it. Like, you just enjoy the human experience because, like Alan Watts was talking about, let's say you could live your dream. Your dreams could come true. Anything you think of comes true, right?
Hmm.
And you live your dream, and the first thing you would do in your dream is all the things you ever wanted to do: fly in the air, rob a bank, have, fun at a casino, win $1 million, spend it, give that money away, like do everything you could possibly do. You would do it.
Hmm.
And then what? Okay, well, now you've done everything you've done. You've been the richest person, the most beautiful person. Like, you've done everything you possibly wanted
It's
to
just
do.
like being in GTA. You download
Exactly.
that $1 billion or whatever. You do all the stuff you wanted to do, all the stuff that sounded fun. But then
Right.
what is there to do after that?
So you complete all your objectives, your human desires. You fill them all.
Hmm.
You've done them, and you keep doing them, and now they're starting to get old. So what's next? Alan Watts says. Well, now you're into the phase where you start going on adventures. You'd go slay the dragon. You'd go do purposeful missions now, instead of just like filling your desires. Now you're doing
Hmm.
something where you're more adventurous and you're in a spaceship, like crazy stuff, like Star Wars stuff. And then after that, now you've done all the adventures you could think of. You've done all that. Now you're bored of that. Now what do you do? And Alan Watts says you would go back to being a normal human, not filling your desires, and you would try to live life
Start
again.
from nothing.
You would start from nothing and see what you could achieve in your little life without, just the power of getting everything you wanted. And that's deep, because that could be our future.
Yeah.
That could be our future when we get so smart, and the chip, Elon Musk's chip, just already went into a person and helped them out. Actually, helped them, like they were in a wheelchair and now they can like walk a little bit. So
That's
it's
actually true.
yeah. There's a YouTube video of him, and
I thought they didn't put those chips in people's brains yet.
he put it in. The first subject was like 3 weeks ago, and he was paralyzed from the spine or something, and he was in a wheelchair, and so he was a candidate. He volunteered himself to do it, and he's
Hmm.
like a young guy, like 30, in his 30s, and he
In
was
a
give.
wheelchair. How do
He,
you get in this wheelchair?
I think he was just car accident or something, but he gave a speech, kind of like a TED talk, but it wasn't. But he was on stage telling his story, and he was really charismatic.
Hmm.
And everyone in the comments was like, "I'm glad this guy was the first one. He deserves it. Like, he's very like down to earth man. Like he has a good sense of humor about himself, and like having no legs. And the chip has just drastically improved his life. And
Hmm.
every scientist and person of interest that watched that video,
He was tired of being called no legs Nelly.
I would be too.
And Elon saw him there lying on the ground, crawling for a banana or whatever he needed to fuel his body. And he was like, this man needs some legs.
So they opened that up and they inserted it,
A little chip.
and it's making his life better. That's
Is
the
it, isn't it
future.
not even like,
It's tiny.
not even as big as your nail and not even like as thick?
Yep, tiny. And it's helping him function. It's connected to his body. They can upload
It
information into his head.
basically fixed the part of his brain that his legs
Yeah.
didn't work.
They put the chip in. They went on their laptop, and they were like,
So
"Let's
it's
connect
purely in the
this."
brain.
It's in the brain. Yeah,
So that's insane though,
your brain's a computer.
because that's part of the neurons that connect from your spine and the part of your legs that make it function. So wouldn't that need repairing as well, instead of just the brain part? Because those parts are literally damaged.
Right, but it wasn't because those parts that they got damaged in the car wreck, but when you become paralyzed, it's because something in your brain is cut off with that body part. So all you have to do is,
Mm.
it's like a checkbox. You just click it again, the
I guess
neuron
if it can
reattaches.
go all the way down the neuron and fix the whole, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it all starts from the brain.
Yeah.
Obviously, if your leg you have a broken bone, your brain's not going to fix that. Or if your leg's chopped off, stuff
It
like that.
could increase the healing, possibly,
Yeah.
maybe.
What do you mean?
Like it could send more energy, send more whatever the heck
Probably.
to heal it faster.
Yeah. Probably.
The brain's a powerful, powerful specimen.
It is. It is. It's a computer. So the fact that we have technology that we can just put into the computer that's in our head, the
Mhm.
biological computer with a metal technical computer, and form, like basically going to be cyborgs pretty soon here.
Yeah.
And the chip is kind of like what you were talking about, receiving all that information. They just uploaded stuff in his head. They probably can put a whole new language in his head, and he can start speaking in a couple of weeks or something. That's where we are right now. and
Yeah.
it's only going to double and double and get more and more sophisticated
Yeah.
stuff.
Or if we're all cyborgs and then, somebody hacks into your system,
Exactly.
turns you gay or something. You're like, what's this dude's worst fear? He's my enemy. I don't like him. And I'm a hacker. I'm gonna go into his chip, turn him gay, and he's gonna go out and have sex with dudes.
That oh man, that is terrible.
Okay, we don't even have to go that
Why'd you
far.
even say
But
that?
like
Why'd you say that?
I'm gonna make this man
Why'd you say that on the
surgically change
podcast?
into a dolphin.
Dr. Jared, how much have you drank today? You can't be saying
I've been
that.
an alcoholic as of late. What can I say?
Okay.
Anyways,
That was a joke, everybody.
yeah, all these jokes. But no, I'm just saying for reference,
Right. That's where the morality comes into it.
like people could hack into
There's risks.
your
There is
stuff.
risks to every technological advancement that we do as a human race. There is risks because
Kind of like that episode of Black Mirror.
exactly. There's always a bad. If there's a good side to it, there's always a bad side.
Mm-hmm.
It's the good. It's the yin and yang of technology. Elon Musk warned about AI if it gets out of control because AI starts teaching itself
Mm-hmm.
and it starts talking to its brother over there, its little robot brother, and they start being like, "Yeah, these people are treating me like shit too," and like now, boom, you started a fucking AI baby that's going to start a war, and that's why Dune, 10,000 years into the future, they already had an AI war, and that's why they banned it. That's why they banned AI. So it's like that's a good setting for the movie too. Like there was a huge AI war with humans and AI, and boom, humans win. We're never making AI again. We're just gonna have human-made technology that are made for humans to handle.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart, and that could be something that happens if AI gets too crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a war, or the opposite, we go. And maybe like they enslave a few of us just to keep us in a zoo or something as like history.
Milk us for our our bodily
Yeah.
uses and
Try to get that
such.
consciousness because this is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This is like part of the universe, the cosmic energy.
Just dissect us like little animals.
Yeah, and maybe they want that
Mm-hmm.
because what other animal has what we got like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, technology, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, if we get to that super AI,
You think?
then that AI is more it's more intelligent than anybody on earth, so it can think at a better capacity. It can think more. Like it could do so much more. So yeah, I mean, of course, like everybody hears, Terminator
Right,
and
right.
all this stuff of how it could end civilization, but it could go the opposite way as well,
I
which
just
is what we hope for, of course.
I just thought of a kind of a sensitive topic to throw down here,
All right,
but I want to get
go
your
for
thoughts
it.
on it.
Yeah, we're the
Just-
one to be mindful podcast. Sensitive is our lingo.
So I was thinking, do you think the more that technology comes out and advancements are made, that people's religions will start falling through? Because like we were talking about, if a super AI with a 10,000 IQ does come down and it's smarter than God, and people are like, "What is this?" and nothing happens. Like God doesn't step in and stop it or
Mm-hmm.
anything. It's there. Does people's faith or religion start crumbling a little bit? Is there a new religion that starts where it's just like life is life? What do you think about
The
that?
holy connector, the holy AI, pray,
Yeah,
like that becomes the new religion.
but mainly
But
people's
yeah,
religions,
yeah,
like
I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah, I think as we kind of advance as a civilization as a whole, anyways, like people's consciousness grows, I think typically you see like more people not being so enveloped into their religion. Like they'll still be religious, but I think they somewhat know deep down or somewhat want to know like deep down that that could not be true and there's the hesitation because of this and that or whatever. But I mean, I don't want to denounce anybody's religion or anything because I do think religion is great in a lot of circumstances. But I just think that, you know, people sometimes can go into religion to just like for something above them. Like they want to know that everything's okay, and so religion can kind of give them a crutch instead of just being like, it could really not be, you know, it could not be so great.
Yeah.
Afterlife could be horrible or this and that, or it could be out of fear that they don't want to suffer in their afterlife or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be.
Fear of the unknown.
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes, not all the time, I feel like sometimes people can use it as a crutch, as like a safety blanket. But
So back to the question. Do you think as technology goes on, people's religions are going to fall through, or what are you thinking?
yeah. I mean, that's what I kind of tried to say, but
Oh, okay.
I went in a little bit different direction. But what about yourself?
I feel like because you were talking about how people, it's like a hopeful thing to go into
But
religion.
if we increase our knowledge and increase our overall consciousness, I think people will start
And
to,
like the map of the universe increases,
yeah.
aliens get figured out. I feel like some people are going to start moving away from their faith. I just think that's like a little prediction of mine, that the way how things are going. I also feel like people join religion too, and I'm not denouncing either, but to conform with society. I feel like it's like
hmm
they grew up around it, and there's like everyone around them is doing it. So
Because it's like if your parents are both Christian and you're taught it from an early age, you go to church and you're around a Christian community,
yeah,
of course you're probably going to be Christian. Like, makes sense.
right. If everyone started at like let's say the age 25 before they got introduced to religion,
hmm
might be a different story.
Exactly. Yeah.
Might be a big different story.
I think like young kids should be taught multiple religions. I think they should really truly find what they want instead of being taught one,
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
and find which one they want to go to. But everybody's like, nope, this is the one you're going to listen. Yeah, this is the one you're going to follow.
Mm,
And so of course that's all they know. And so they're like, yeah, it's my religion.
Shabbat shalom. No. All right. Yeah. So okay. Good answer. Good answer about that. Oh, did you shut that door by the way? There's a
Yeah.
there's a hanger on it with my wife's clothes, and you might have just
There you go. It got really silent in here.
it did. I think the fan was blowing right here and then it cooled down. A laptop with the coolant system technology. That was good. That was a good conversation right there about
Episode
that.
brought to you by Zip Fizz. Get your zip and get your fizz. Long lasting energy without the calories and without the sugar. Zip Fizz.
Makes you wonder how they do it. What's really in
How
there?
do they do it? Technology.
What's really in there?
I mean, I have the ingredients.
I think it's the bubbles from the sewage.
Citric acid.
Yep. That's a chemical,
Yeah. Man, if you ever just read like labels and stuff, like even off some Ritz crackers, there's like 30 different ingredients. You're like, what the shit is this?
Because you got to think about something else about that.
Okay.
You got to mass produce this product.
Exactly.
How do you do it the most
It's
cost-effective way?
Cost-effective way, and how is it going to stay the freshest, the best, the longest? That's
Come on,
usually what
man.
it is.
Come on. Have you ever made homemade crackers? Do you know how to? That would be cool, right? Let's say grid goes down, EMP goes off, Civil War and unrest, 10 years go back. You're in a cabin living off
First
the
thing
land.
I'm making isn't crackers.
10 years go by. That's what I'm saying. You've been living off the land and you got a farm going, got a wife, kids, you're human again. You're living in nature again. And it's peaceful now because mostly humanity has been killed because of each other. Anyway, and then you got some bread. You make some bread. You got some wheat grown in the fields, and you want to make some
Lovely.
crackers. Imagine how natural that would be.
Sounds lovely. Personally, I would serve my children and my spouse probably some Dr. Sean soup.
Dr. Sean soup.
Dr. Sean soup.
The classic soup you can buy now. No, just kidding.
A new soup brought to you in the stores. Get it now for $4.99.
The Wanna Be Mindful soup. Because most of your serotonin is located in your gut.
It'll make you smarter, crisper, and make you love life more. So why would you not want someone to be mindful soup?
And just remember, guys, 95% of your life is controlled by your subconscious. Go check out episode, I forgot.
7,
It's
8.
4, maybe. I think it was early. Anyway,
Anyways,
so how you feeling about this?
about this episode,
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a very productive episode.
I think so.
Don't go away, folks. If you think
Yeah.
we're going to end soon or something,
Stop.
this we're still talking about the world and such and bioengineered products. But I mean, what were we kind of talking about? We kind of got a little distracted.
I think we're done.
Think
We were
done.
talking about
we were talking about a world in which you go back 5,000, 6,000 years.
Yeah.
And
No.
everything's peaceful. Everything's nice.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
I'm thinking this all started from the simulation theory. Like, are we currently in one?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you is, do you think that us, have got to the point where we had that chip in our head that told us everything about life, like the giver gave us all the memories, and now humanity has restarted basically because we already got to that point?
I don't know. I can't give you. I could give you what I think.
What do you think?
I can give you what is actually true.
Do you think we're ground zero? This is the first planet, the first human race. This is it. We're the beginning of it.
No.
Fuck. That's scary.
There's no way, dude. Life is too intelligent. It's gone on for too long. I mean, maybe it could. I'm not saying I'm.
You know what Leo Guru said?
Leo Guru. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard the name before.
Actualize.org.
Oh, yeah.
Guru.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay,
just kidding with you. But
Sorry. But I think he said this. Maybe he didn't. But,
He
just give him credit.
did.
Give him credit.
He was practically Jesus.
Give him credit anyway. But he was like, something that people that might not understand when they hear the truth. And when I'm talking about the truth, I'm talking about like absolute truth about the world, God, everything, the universe, all the answers to your questions,
Mm-hmm.
is that you might be more disappointed than you hoped for. Because the answer might be as simple as, this is it. You are the first person going through the, you know what I mean? It could be less shocking and riveting and enlightening than you think. Like the world, everyone makes conspiracy theories. What's really going on? Government, presidents, all corrupt.
You could be living in different universes.
Like who's running the world?
Yeah.
But the answer could be like, no one is. It's just all buffer. It's just humans fighting against each other, even at the toppest level, the highest.
Yeah. But if you think about it, if you really
I'm thinking
dive deep,
the gears are turning.
How even the Earth is formed, man. Like how the Earth
circular.
Well, just no. I'm talking about just like how life
shapes,
how it can get so perfect, like a planet being a perfect position away from the sun, to then over millions of years create life on that Earth, and then for it to create intelligent beings that are just walking, talking, thinking, and being able to actually theorize and think, use intelligent brains and actually do things that are so monumental, like they can actually travel space around. Like, how can it get to that point? And if you really think about it, it's an insane topic.
It is too much to handle, honestly, unless we start getting some implants that can make us handle information like that, which is definitely a possibility in the future. But it kind of makes me think about ants for a second here.
Okay.
Ants, right? You don't think they have their theories for why they exist, their little religion down there in the anthill, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then tell me, why do they bury their dead? They will bury their dead before they get food if they're starving.
It's their animal instinct.
But that sounds more human than animal. If an ant dies in battle, all the ants will carry its body across all treacherous terrain to bring it back home, and they bury it in their home. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
But they're just ants.
They're just ants, and with that,
so we think.
With that, we I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. It's been another stellar, wonderful performance, and we always try our best for you guys. So leave a comment, and
Dr. Jared, it's been a pleasure.
it's been a pleasure as always, Dr. Sean. We must get back to our work now, as we're very busy people
That's right.
trying to
Changing the world.
advancing civilization. That's what we try and do best. So,
I think I'm gonna start a GoFundMe.
for what?
Selfish
Our
reasons. I'm
experiments.
just kidding. No, I'm not. Just to help the podcast get more equipment.
Not too horrible.
It's a
of
good
an
idea. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe a couple bucks here and there.
Yeah.
Won't hurt. Just kidding, guys. If you do comment though, and you say you've got this far and you're at this part, I need you to say the word in the comments. Type this word out. Ants bury their dead. And I will Cash App you personally $10 if you leave your Cash App right after that comment. That's a goal. That's a challenge to see if you're a real one.
Also, put up any comments. Put up a comment of a subject that you want us to talk about that we can bring up, and we can dive deeper into it.
I like that.
And, yeah. I feel like we should bring that up at the beginning. We could do that next episode, but for sure.
I like that. All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Stay mindful.